Hi, and welcome to October. Although it really doesn't feel like it because it's going to be in the high 90s again today. Hopefully, we will have some cooler fall weather soon so I can finally put my summer clothes away. Earlier this week, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was really having a hard time because someone had really insulted her badly, and of course, it hurt her feelings. It's impossible not to feel hurt and to take something personally when someone intentionally tries to hurt us or say something bad or makes an insult about us directly to us. How could we not take that personally? When I was a kid, I had this friend who was nice to me most of the time, but every so often she would dish out these huge insults to me. It made me feel horrible, it really upset me, and I would go home and tell my mom about it, and she would say, well, first of all, she's not your friend if she treats you that way. But second, it's not even about you. What she's doing, the way that she's acting, what she's saying, first of all, isn't even true. But the reason she's acting that way doesn't have anything to do with you. And I would go, what are you talking about? Of course it has to do with me. She said this about me to me. How is that not about me? And she would say, yes, I know, sweetie. I know it feels that way in that moment, and it's really hard not to. But the reason she's acting like that has nothing to do with you. It's because she is struggling with something. It's her own pain, her own hurt, her own insecurities, something that she does not know how to handle. So her way of dealing with it is to take it out on someone, you, in the hopes that watching someone else hurt a little bit makes her feel a little bit better about the very thing that she's having a hard time dealing with. It's really not about you, and you don't have to believe the awful things that she's saying, even though it feels like it is about you. It's not. I can tell you that as a kid, there was no way I could wrap my head around that. No matter if it was an insult from that girl or somebody else, I always took it personally. Again, it's hard not to. Even as an adult, it was very difficult for me to really grasp that concept and really have a true understanding that that's what's going on with a person. When an insult is made directly to you, yeah, it's gonna sting. But here's the thing, when we realize that it really isn't about us and it really is the other person's issues and they're choosing an unfortunate way to deal with it, it allows us to take a deep breath and separate ourselves from that pain, let go of that hurt, and to also view that person and that situation through a lens of compassion, understanding that they are struggling with something. Doesn't excuse the behavior, not at all, but it does allow us to let go of that hurt that was inflicted upon us and to see them in a different way. And then here's the much harder part, try to repay them in kindness. Do something nice for them, say something nice, pay them a genuine, sincere compliment. I mean, honestly, that is the last thing we want to do when someone has just insulted us. Give them a sincere compliment, seriously. But it's actually quite amazing what that can do for yourself and also for the other person. Because sometimes that kindness that you've shown to them is the thing that helps to soothe the hurt that is what caused them to behave that way in the first place. You never know what amazing good things can happen when you try that. And you might listen to this and think, yeah, right, no way, I'm sorry. I cannot be nice to someone or do something nice to them after they have intentionally been mean to me or hurt me. I get it, totally okay. But maybe instead of doing something nice that the person knows about, maybe you do something really small and nice that they don't know anything about, like saying a prayer for them. Again, it allows you to separate yourself from what they were trying to do, which was hurt you. Let go of that. See that they are hurting. Know that they're struggling in some way. You don't have to know what the struggle is. That's okay. God already does. And just say a prayer for them and let it go. It allows you just to simply move on. One thing to note, doing this, whether you do something nice for them or you say a prayer for them, it in no way condones the behavior. Absolutely not. And it also doesn't mean you have to allow the behavior to continue if it is something that is recurring. Boundaries are always very important. But what it does do is allow you to let go of that hurt from whatever it was they did. Do something nice, which allows you to feel good about how you handled the situation and move on, being unburdened by that person's behaviors and their issues. So my question for you today is, and this is kind of a big one, is there someone in your life that has intentionally hurt you that you can repay them with kindness? Again, with a kind act, a kind word, a compliment, or even just saying a prayer for them. I know it's a big one, and it is hard. It is still going to sting in that moment when you know that someone is trying to hurt you on purpose. Just take a deep breath, step back from it, recognize it is not truly about you, it's them. Say a prayer for them, wish them well, and move on. I wish you well, take care, and I'll see you soon.